God is really just doing stuff in my soul right now. I want to talk about are you just saved? Like, did you say the prayer once and give your heart over to the Lord in that moment, but none of the rest of your life reflects Jesus? Because, like, one, I do want people to know that, like, if you've given your life to Jesus, that's amazing. If you haven't given your life over to Jesus yet, like, there is an afterlife, there is heaven and hell. It's extremely vital that you do this so that you are not in eternal torment. Like, think of the most horrific thing that's ever happened to you in your life on earth. Like, think of that times, that feeling of pain or whatever you went through. Think of that times a million in eternity for forever, where it doesn't let up, where it doesn't get better. And so I just feel like the times are like, everybody says we can't really know when it's going to end, but there feels in my spirit just such an urgency right now. And so I just encourage you, and I'm speaking to anybody right now that's not saved, you need to get saved. Okay? So that's like the first step. But then there's like true submission to the Lord. Like, where you can clearly see that God has done all these different things in you. The questions you can ask yourself, like, is your mouth submitted to the Lord? Meaning, I used to cuss previously, and God convicted my heart and transformed that area of my life. There's lots of things I used to say, like speak into my life, that were negative, that I don't do anymore, because my mouth is here to glorify God. So, like, is your mouth saved? Where are you with alcohol and drugs and recreational substances? Where are you with purity? Viewing your body as a vessel that is supposed to be used for God, not used for other people, not used for, substances. That your body is not used to make money off of. So it's like, have you given that to the Lord? Do you believe that your body is a vessel for the Lord? And that's a whole other video. When's the last time that you asked or said or acted upon what God told you to do? When's the last time you shared a story with someone that you were like, well, I felt like God told me to do this, and so I did it. And you're sharing that story with someone in the hopes that it will help them. Like, when's the last time you got so still and clear that you could hear from God? And these are all things of like a person where you've been saved, but now you're submitted to Him. Now you're surrendered to Him. Now everything that you do and say is under His authority. So before you do stuff, you consult with Him. And this is a process. Like, all of this is a journey and a process, and it doesn't happen in one day. Like, all of these things, God has brought conviction to me in different areas at certain points in my walk. And He's used other people to bring conviction. He's used stuff that I've listened to through YouTube or podcasts or whatever. He's used that to bring conviction about stuff at different moments, because the world is so contrary to all of this. And I feel like the Lord's telling me right now, like, also, where are you at with like movies? Do you watch horror movies? Because you're opening yourself up to a spirit of fear. What you watch, what you look at through your eyes, and what you hear open the spiritual realm. So if you're watching demonic things or listening to demonic things, which you might not understand that they're demonic, you might just think this is just what everybody does. which it is what everybody does in the world, but we are called to be set apart. And so that took a while with me too, like not watching certain movies, not watching movies that had a bunch of language in it, not watching movies that had a bunch of nudity in it, because it takes one image for a half a second to potentially make you spiral into a series of decisions that you'll regret. And Satan will, that will be his whole plan, is like, I just had to plant that image, or I just had to show that clip for half a second, and now they're in his trap. So you've got to stay sober-minded. And this may sound so extreme if you've never heard this stuff before, but you've got to keep your mind pure. You've got to keep your ears pure, what you're listening to, like the music that we have today that is in the world. It's literally, if you will actually Google the lyrics and understand what it's saying, you're being programmed to do bad things, because what you listen to and what you watch is what you're going to become. So you can say that you have enough self-control to like overcome all of that, but I would just think God would say otherwise. Okay, I'm at 6 minutes. That's about it for right now. I just like doing these like 5-minute clips. I hope that helped somebody in some way, and I just encourage you towards purity, because purity actually feels amazing. Like I don't know why or where we got this reputation where like purity is for wussies or weirdos or whatever. Like the pureness of God is like where people can actually see God, and purity keeps you safe and protected, and allows you to be a vessel for the kingdom in so many different ways. And so it's not an easy journey to get all these questions answered that I kind of originally asked, but on the other end, it's so satisfying and fulfilling, and you don't gotta think twice. Like I don't live with shame, I don't live with guilt, I don't live with negative emotions or like regret or remorse on the regular, because I do my best to try to live just as pure as I can. And I think that that's probably a feeling of like people have not even experienced what pureness is, and so it's really awesome. Okay, that's all I've got for now. God loves you. Bye.